This channel is proof that production quality alone is not enough to win on YouTube. I'm Colin, I'm a full-time content creator. I've gotten millions of views, made tens of thousands of dollars from YouTube alone. No BS, no fluff. I'm gonna tell Al Hussein today how he can take his channel from struggling to winning by doing a complete audit of the channel. I'll look at everything from niching and branding to video performance. So let's jump right into it, okay? The first thing we're gonna look at here is niche. When we look at Al Hussein's channel here, we can see that in his About section, he says, I do photography, video. I also like tech. You have a picture of a camera in the banner, a nice clean profile picture, and then we start scrolling through the videos, okay? Seems like he started his channel about 2 years ago, and then in this last year has gotten really consistent, uploading several videos in a month, it's great. First impressions here, looking at his channel and his niche, I mean, it definitely looks like a tech channel. I can see cameras, lights, pieces of technology everywhere. I mean, it looks like he's got a solid niche here, but we'll go ahead and dive into it a little deeper. But let's look at the titles and thumbnails of these videos here and see if they actually support his niche, what he claims his niche is, from his About section. So it looks like we have things like exploring iOS 18 features, exclusive preview, what's new in the Watch OS 11 hands-on. We have what's the best docking station for your laptop or MacBook, protection film versus tempered glass review, the good way to protect your Apple Watch. Is dual monitors really worth it? So far, great. Looks like a tech channel to me. But these are the older videos. As we scroll up a little here, we see my biggest camera rumors and leaks of 2025. We have what's actually worth it in my daily creator setup, the workflow that finally made me a consistent creator, how to film smooth smartphone B-roll, easy in under 3 minutes. And nobody talks about this tool, but it leveled up my content instantly. So it looks like we're kind of shifting away from just tech reviews and talking about tech into more of like what it's like to be a creator. And whenever I look at this channel as a whole, I'm not really sure what I could expect from it tomorrow. If I were a viewer of this channel and I wanted to see what this guy was going to put out next, and I had to think, what's he going to put out tomorrow? I'm not really sure. One day we're talking about Apple Watch faces. The next we're talking about workflows to be a consistent creator. And then we're talking about apps on a phone that's like Lightroom, but 100% free. It's a little bit all over the place. We're still in the tech, like photography, video sort of like niche, but it's too broad right now. We're too unfocused. We're covering too many topics, and I have no idea what this guy would actually like put out next. Okay, so that's a huge problem with this channel so far, I see. We're not niche down enough. Next, we're going to talk about target audience definition. So who is most likely to view these videos? And if we take the last, like 12 uploads or so, I think that like we're definitely looking at someone who is wanting to be a content creator and they have an interest in technology, photography, and videoing, which is a fine target audience. It seems like maybe he's thought about more about who his target audience would be, and likely he's making videos for himself, which is common advice that you'll hear a lot, and it's pretty decent advice. So I think he has a better idea of who his target audience would be. Next, we have the unique value proposition of the channel. Whenever I compare this guy to the thousands of other tech YouTubers or people who teach you how to be a content creator, whatever, how does this guy compare? Why would I watch him over anybody else? And I think the short answer is here, there's probably not a reason to. Just looking at these titles, these thumbnails, they're pretty generic. I have seen, this doesn't even look like a thumbnail. This looks like stock footage for a graphics card. These are very reminiscent of a tech channel. Okay, I'm sure you've seen thumbnails like this if you've ever looked at a tech channel. Nice, clean shots. And again, that's the thing I want to point out here is none of this from the production side is bad. These are beautiful thumbnails. They're cleanly shot. They look great. Look at this shot. This is a perfect picture of this phone. It's great. The only problem is that there's no reason to click on any of these videos. So we'll get to that later. But right now, it is very clear that there is no universal sort of idea of like, this is why you would watch my channel over somebody else's. So right now, the channel doesn't have a unique value proposition. And that's the number one thing that we need to fix. So what could some possible unique value propositions be for this channel? Well, the one that's sticking out most to me right here seems to be some idea around, I'm going to teach you how to make content and use your technology to do that. So we have ideas like, here's a tool that helps you become a better content creator. Here's what my workflow looks like with my technology that helps me be a content creator. This app is great if you want to be a content creator. Here's my desk setup as a content creator. I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor for content creation. The secret way to make your photos look cinematic, beginner's guide, likely for, well, no, this one doesn't really stick out, and this one doesn't really fit. I mean, it kind of sticks out, and it goes to my point that the channel's not focused enough. How to film smooth smartphone B-roll, like this is great if you want to be a content creator. So I really get the vibe that you have shifted into, I'm going to teach you how to use technology to become a better content creator, which is a very specific niche. We've niched down greatly there. We have more of a unique value proposition there because he's proving that he knows how to do this. In these videos, they look fantastic already. I mean, if we just let this autoplay, I mean, this is a great shot. It's lit well. The camera quality is great on it. He definitely has the knowledge to teach people how to use their technology more efficiently to make content. So that's the way that I think you can really sort of pull a unique value proposition out of what you're doing right now. All right, next we're going to talk about branding and channel presentation. I think he'll score pretty highly on this one for the most part. So whenever we look at the channel name, it's just his name. It's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want this to be a personal brand, that's fantastic. Next, we have the channel logo. It's a picture of him. It's clear, it's professional. I really love this peach color you've chosen here. I mean, it's really nice. It looks good. I mean, nobody is going to fault this channel anywhere for not looking good. And that's the main thing I want to point out, that looking good is not enough. We'll get to what you need to do to fix that in a moment, though. Channel banner art. This is a nice high quality picture, but it doesn't really tell me what I'm going to get for your channel, and neither does your about section. And I think that's because you don't exactly know, which is fine. You're a newer creator. You've only been at this for 2 years. It looks like 1 year really consistently. So, I mean, you can't expect to have it all together right now. But as you refine that value proposition and what I'm coming to your channel for, I would really like to see something in the banner that tells me what I'm going to get out of your channel. I mean, if we go look at my channel, right here, learn YouTube, make money. That's what I'm here to do. I'm telling you that exactly. This is exactly what you can expect from this channel. You can see I've got the matching colors. Now, this isn't the best branding in the world or anything, but it's clear and it's simple. And that's what you need. You need clear, simple branding until you can refine your brand further. So figure out what your unique value proposition is. Figure out what exactly you're going to be doing on this channel, and then make sure I can understand that just by glancing at what's here. Next, we have your feature video, your homepage. For you section, videos. This is great. It's perfectly fine. Nothing to say on that. It's only so much you can do there anyway. We've talked about your about section already. Let's talk about visual cohesion as a brand real quick. So you have this lovely peach color and the desaturated photo of you, but I don't see this carried through in anything else that you're doing. You had a little bit of a brand identity here, although it's pretty weak because these look like tech pictures that anybody could take if they're doing a technology channel. It seems like you tried another sort of idea with the thumbnails, which is great. I love to see people trying things and experimenting. That's how you'll find what works for you. But right now, there is no brand cohesion. You don't really have a visual identity. So that's something you definitely want to work on. I love this peach color, as I've said many times. It'd be cool to see that carried through somewhere, like maybe in your banner, in some of your thumbnails. Now, do not take your profile picture and put it in the corner or something like that. Don't put a peach border on all your thumbnails or anything like that. Nothing cheesy, nothing corny. Just simple. If maybe you can make the background of every thumbnail this color, or the text in a thumbnail this color, things like that. Think simple, clear. Like this thumbnail, for example, could have been this peach color, and that would look great. It would also contrast nicely with this with this icon here. Next, let's look at your content strategy here. This is, I think you're going to score pretty weak on it, unfortunately. And then we'll talk about upload consistency and your schedule. When it comes to your content pillars, you can think of these as buckets that all of your videos would fall into. So like maybe one bucket is guides, one bucket is like personal improvement or videos about you, and then another bucket is, I don't know, tech showcases or something. We cannot neatly put all your stuff into buckets right now. You need to come up with the categories of content that you want to make, right? That is definitely going to elevate your channel if you can come up with these content categories. So this is one of my channels. You can see we have a few categories here. History, the most broken metas in the history of the game, and every ability deleted from the game. These are sort of like history. And then we have commentary about the game and its community, sort of like the 7 deadly sins, the most hated heroes, and then like the rarest skins. So those are content buckets that exist on this channel. You need to think like that. Can I do reviews and commentary and news? And those are my 3 buckets. Just think about that. That will stem from your unique value proposition and the niche that you decide to go into. Okay, and upload consistency and schedule. You're uploading super consistent. The videos are short, which I will talk about briefly, but in general, you're uploading consistently, which is great to see. I love to see somebody out there grinding. That's awesome, dude. Keep it up, for real. Like, it's super impressive. You're getting videos out, like several videos out a week. It's impressive. I really appreciate that from you. Now, when it comes to the length of the videos, which is the next thing I wanted to talk about, they are on the shorter side, and I think you're massively shooting yourself in the foot here. Why do I think that? Well, it's pretty simple. If you don't go above 8 minutes, you can't put mid-rolls on your videos, which is drastically going to cut your revenue, not even by half, by more than half. So when we're looking at this here, you need to get these videos longer, I think. You're in a great section of YouTube to make money, the tech section and content creation and stuff. So you could make a lot of money from this channel. I know you only have 208 subscribers, so that might feel distant. I don't know how many watch hours you have, but it's going to be harder to get the watch hours if you make these shorter videos. I would just encourage you to maybe experiment with video length. What does it look like for you if you make an 8-minute video? What does it look like if you try and make a 30-minute video? You know, play around there and experiment and see what you can do. Okay, we're done with the channel overview. Next, we're gonna go into an individual video overview. But real quick, if you've made it this far into the video and you want me to look at your channel too, comment Dragon Fruit in the comments and I'll pick one of those channels to review next. If you want to guarantee that I review your channel, you can book an audit with me in the link below. Or if you'd rather audit your own channel, I have a complete guide. This thing is crazy. It's 42 pages long and takes you through every aspect of your channel, even stuff that we're not going to cover in this shorter audit. So if you're interested in either of those, click the link below. Let's get back to the review. Okay, we're going to go to a video now and break down a video. So we're just going to take your most recent video and look at it. It's I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor. So before we actually click on anything, let's go ahead and talk about the thumbnail and title, okay? We're picking this video because it's your most recent one. So I would assume and hope that you're putting everything you've learned up until this point into this video. Next, we could maybe look at your most popular, but let's start here. It's pretty old and it seems like your content has sort of moved away from this. So I think this one will be most representative of who you are now as a creator. I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor. Cool. Why? For what? Who cares about that? Why do I care about that? And then on the thumbnail, we have a beautiful picture of the phone. Again, nobody will ever knock the production quality here. It's fantastic, but it says iPhone, Apple Watch. This text is meaningless, dude. I know that's an iPhone and I can tell that's an Apple Watch. What does the text add to the thumbnail? What story are you building here? I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor. Why do I care about that? Why should anyone care about that? You're not giving me enough here to ever want to click on this video. Maybe it could be, I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor and it changed my life. I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor and content creation got 10 times easier. How you can turn your Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor? I don't even know what kind of video this is. Is it a tutorial? Can I expect to learn how to do this myself? Are you telling me about an experience you had? Are you demonstrating products and reviewing them? I have utterly no idea what this video is about because you have not set clear expectations with the title and thumbnail. So that's the first thing that we need to work on here. I need to know what the video is about in the title and thumbnail. Clearly, assume I have no knowledge about you or what you're doing at all, which is something that I feel like you're kind of missing here. You're not bridging the gap between what you know and what I know as the viewer. And I say that because when I look at this other thumbnail title combo over here, nobody talks about this tool, but it leveled up my content instantly. That's a better title, I think. Cool, you're leveling up your content. You're at least gonna maybe tell me how I can level up my content too, but what is this? I have no idea what this is. I mean, I do. It's literally in my toolbar. I use Adobe Podcast, so I know what it is personally, but assuming I didn't, what's the point of this? What are you holding? Why are you holding it? What does that do? There's nothing here that bridges that gap from what you know and what I know and what you're going to tell me about what you know. That's enough with actually wait, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about your title and thumbnails. So there's these sections here, right? Your older thumbnails, I think these actually look really nice, as I've said before. And I think they have more potential. But the thing I might want to see you try is adding text to these. You could do so much more with these thumbnails if you just added a little bit of text to them. And when I say text, I don't mean anything crazy. So let me pull up another one of my channels here. Here we go. This channel here, I kind of want to see you do some text like this, where it says illegal here, and you got the little yellow arrow. And I might want to see you use like a lighter font, a more lightweight font, something thinner. But then just put that on these thumbnails. So let's take this one, the most minimalist Apple Watch setup. Imagine if you had a little arrow here that pointed to the Apple Watch and it said free or perfect or first impressions of the Samsung 25 Ultra. Pretty sure that's the phone I've got. Tell me what you think about it in this thumbnail. Say like horrible, perfect, put like stars at the top of this. You need to take these further. I call it pushing the concept. You need to push the concept further. So what's the best docking station for your laptop or MacBook? Just right above this in a simple, clean font and a big red arrow that says terrible or not this one. Take this and push it further. Give me a reason to click. Tell me the story. Tell me why I should care about what you have to say about any of this and why this is important, okay? So let's go to the actual content itself. We can finally watch a video. I know it feels like we've been putting it off for a long time, but I feel like everything we talked about has been important. So I turned my Apple Watch into a pro camera monitor. It's going to be kind of difficult to assess this because I still have utterly no idea what the point of this video is, who it's for, or why I'm clicking on it, but let's watch.
Like, honestly, who could have said that 10 years ago that mobile devices and gadgets would become this versatile? Like, for real. Look at this. As a solo...
Okay, the hook still does not answer this question. It still doesn't tell me what's the purpose of this video. What benefit am I going to get out of this video as a viewer? It's at least you have like great audio. It's a nice shot other than this god-awful blinding light behind you. Like, why not use this natural light to light you up? Why not face this beautiful natural light you have, this window, and let it illuminate you so that you can get beautiful shots with it instead of it like blinding me when I watch your video? I would change that instantly. I'd go sit in front of that 180, or if you're not going to use it, cover up the window so that this doesn't happen. This is not good. Don't flash bang your viewer, okay? Like I said, your audio quality is here. It's nice. You speak well. It's clear. Great stuff. But the actual words that you're saying are where the problem is I still have utterly no idea why I'm watching this video. What is the point?
Like, honestly, who could have said that 10 years ago that mobile devices and gadgets would become this versatile? Like, for real. Look at this. As a solo creator...
That hook, I kind of get the idea here of, okay, I'm going to hook the audience in by making a statement hook. You're going to say something that interests me, it makes me curious, and I want to keep watching. But who would have ever thought that technology would get this versatile is not it. It's not strong enough. Imagine if you opened it up with, you see this little hack right here? This changed my life as a content creator. You see how already that carries so much more emotional weight to it? It tells such a more vivid story than this is a really versatile way to use my two cameras that I've got right here. It's just not good enough. It needs to hit harder if you want to use a statement hook like that. Or this setup right here cost $1,000, but it does the job of a $5,000 setup. Here's how you can do it too. Do you see how I've set up the premise of the video already a lot faster and cleaner? It's more interesting. That's what you need to be doing here, but let's keep watching.
One of the most frustrating parts of shooting content is nailing your framing when you're both behind and in front of the camera. You hit record, run into position, hope you're centered, then check the footage only to realize your head slightly cropped, the focus missed, or the lighting hits wrong. and then you do it all over again and again. Even with
You're killing me, dude. Why? Why is that not the beginning of the video? You set up the problem and you told me you got a solution for it in the beginning of the video. Why is that not the hook? Why is this not the beginning of the video? Why is this so much later? Why do you waste 14 seconds of my time before you're like, hey, this is why you clicked on the video. This is what this video is about. This is missing from your packaging, your title and thumbnail, and from your hook. It's not until I get 20 seconds in do I understand why I even clicked on this video. This needs to be clear in the hook, the title. It needs to be so obvious that this is what this video is about. Sometimes when you're using your camera to record yourself, you think you have the shot set up, but it's hard to set up. I've got the solution. Use your Apple Watch this way, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. That's the premise of this video, and it took me 20 seconds into the video for me to even understand that. That is a huge, huge problem you have to fix. Those things, why I clicked on the video, what I'm going to get out of the video, need to be 100% clear in the title, thumbnail, and hook, okay? If you only take one thing away from this video, well, I need you to take two things away so far. It needs to be, you need to refine what your channel is actually going to be about, and you need to make sure that the premise of the video is clear in the title, thumbnail, and hook. All right, let's keep watching.
of the camera. You hit record, run into position, hope you're centered, then check the footage only to realize your head slightly cropped, the focus missed, or the lighting hits wrong. And then you do it all over again and again. Even with gear like my Lumix GH6, which has a flip-out screen, it's not always enough, especially when I'm setting up in tight spaces or need to stand a few meters away. The screen becomes too small to judge composition or focus properly. You start thinking maybe you need an external monitor, but then comes the cost. The cables, the mounts, more bulk, more gear, more setup. And what I'm
Okay, you hang on this shot for a really long time. I don't like it. Your videos are really short and really early. I would expect a little more editing. I would expect things to be more dynamic, is what I'll say. I would expect things to be more dynamic. More shots, more angles, more cuts, more text popping up on the screen. Just give me something visually to look at instead of the same camera shot for a really long time zoomed in and out, okay? Visual variety here, especially on a video this short. I would expect more from it. That said, your commentary is actually really nice. It's super clear. You sound confident. You sound authentic. The only thing that I would really suggest is to maybe bring a little more energy to this. You don't exactly sound excited about what you're talking about. I think even right now, I'm a really chill guy, okay? I'm very laid back, but I think I sound more excited to be critiquing your channel than you sound excited to even be making your own content. You have to fix that. Make me fall in love with the idea that you're telling me. The pacing so far has been pretty good. I mean, if you picked up the energy a little bit, I think the video would move a little quicker and it would serve it well. But right now, it's not a huge problem. It's more of a nitpick. I feel like you're carrying me through very logically from this is a problem, this is why it's a problem, and I'm hoping next we'll see this is how you fix it. It just would have been great if you set all of this up in the beginning. If you had said this is the problem, this is why it's a problem, and this is how I fix it. If you promised me that in the intro, this video would be 1,000 times stronger.
filming with my iPhone, which I do often for top-down shots or fast setups, that frustration multiplies. There is no flip screen, no reference, just guesswork. So the idea of using something I already wear every day, my Apple Watch, as a live monitor, that was a total game changer. You know, if you're into creative workarounds like this, hit that subscribe button. I try to upload every week videos like these that make you work faster, not
You're killing me, dude. You're killing me so bad. Why are you doing it this way? You just told me the whole purpose of your channel. Why do I not see that everywhere on your channel? I'm going to tell you how to use technology more effectively in your everyday life. Why is that not in big, bold letters on your banner? Using tech effectively every day. Something like that. Why is that not smacking me in the face when I see your channel? Because you apparently even know what your channel's about. You just did it in the CTA. Show me that everywhere in your channel. I want to see every piece of content lead and build upon that idea of I'm going to show you weekly how to make your tech work for you. That's a great, unique value proposition. And you're proving that you know it in your videos. You're showing people how to do it. Everything looks professional and great besides the flashbang light in the background. But otherwise, I mean, you're killing it, dude. it needs to come through in every aspect of your channel. And to be fair, okay, maybe that's something you've come to the realization of recently. Maybe you just decided on, hey, that's what the purpose of my channel is going to be, and this is my first attempt with that. And, that's cool. I'm not trying to lay into you too hard or anything here. I want it to be constructive. I'm not trying to bring you down in any way. This is just what I think about your channel and how I think you could improve. But to me, it seems like you already kind of know where you want to move. So I would highly encourage you to keep traveling in that direction. Now, when it comes to the CTA itself, okay, I do have a couple of comments about that. I think the CTA was nice and snappy, especially for a video this short. I mean, it's under 5 seconds or something like that. Although I do think that you ask too early, and especially a video this short. When you do a CTA, you want to provide value first. You want to give me value so that I as the viewer, want to reciprocate that value and give you something in return. You want to make, not in some weird salesy manipulative way, but you want to make the viewer feel like they owe you something. You gave me something, now it's my turn to give back to you, and you haven't given me anything yet. You've literally wasted 20 seconds of my time, 15 seconds of my time, then told me about a problem that you have and promised me a solution, and I still haven't even gotten that solution, and I'm 1.5 minutes into a 5-minute video. So you can't really ask anything of me yet. You need to wait until the end, especially with a video this short, I think.
To set it up, all you have to do is open the camera remote app on your Apple Watch. Your iPhone's camera should launch automatically. Mount your iPhone on a tripod, then simply raise your wrist to get a live view from your watch. What I found really cool is that you can even wrap your Apple Watch around the tripod itself or your iPhone, giving you a compact all-in-one setup with both a monitor and a camera. The watch auto-syncs and shows a live preview. You can switch cameras, start or stop recording, and even preview your footage all from your wrist. It's basically like having a mini directory.
And you do a great job of explaining stuff, dude. Like, for real, I think you have a knack for explaining things. It was super clear and concise and easy for me to follow. And I'm not an Apple user. I don't own either of these products. I would not touch an iPhone. I hate iPhone. But the value that you're providing here is real and true, and it's well thought out. It's fantastic. I wish you told me that this was going to be here for me later in the video. This is good, though. It's really solid. I think you explained things clearly. It's definitely one of the best parts of your channel I've seen so far, and I would lean into this more.
Strapped to you. Whether you're shooting photos or videos, you also get control over which between front and back cameras, hit record. Now, as cool as it is, there are a few things.
You're even telling me things to keep in mind. You're telling me why this might not be good, or what you might need to consider to make this really work for you. This is a solid, helpful video. You just need to tell me that it exists. So instead, imagine if on this you had like bright yellow text here that said, "This changed my life," or makes content 10 times easier, makes filming 10 times easier. How I made my Apple Watch Pro the perfect pro camera monitor. And then you could put on the thumbnail how you can do it too. There's a ton of ways to present this content, but you have real value here. I think really what you need to nail down is how you present that value to the viewer, because it's missing entirely right now. We've done a pretty thorough look at Al Hussein's channel today, covered a ton of areas from niche to the video quality itself. I think this should give you a pretty solid start. I hope you found this helpful. However, my complete self-audit, the one that I showed earlier here, goes way more in depth. You can see already that it covers things like monetization and business potential, competitor analysis, and prioritizing an action plan so you can figure out how to actually implement these things. So if you're interested in that, it's in the link in the description. And if you want me to audit your channel personally, I will do that for you. You can find a link to it in the description as well. They'll both take you to my store here. Click the link. And if you're interested in either of those, check them out. But I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment Dragon Fruit if you want your channel reviewed below. And until next time.